Now looking at this schedule for next week. But I have your payments here. Signed. All your payments are here signed. But one thing I want to establish is the now deduction on our liability. We agree on it, so we start the deduction now. No need to carry forward more and increase our liability burden. But I want us to agree now on how we're going to finance that. Yes.
Even yesterday we asked the tax consultant, and what we were meant to understand is, like we initially had discussed, withholding tax, the WHT, is handled by the employer, and then VAT is handled by the contractor. Hypothetically speaking, they are both 5%. But the question I want to ask is, in the initial BOQs that were given to us, was the 5% added on the cost?
Well, we agreed that VAT will be added.
Yeah.
But let's just look at, regardless of even adding VAT, adding a 5% tax, which is a withholding tax. The VAT we say we pay, that we've agreed. So now we've assumed, remember we withholding is your tax, it's your corporate tax. It's nothing you add on. Whatever you do, you have to pay tax. 1,000 naira. Okay? Now the responsibility of the employer is to be charged VAT. We agree. Okay? The contractor has to pay his tax. Let's call it tax. Here is it punitive. Even if you lose, do you pay tax?
Yeah, you at the end of the day, when you go to FRS, you reconcile. Because it depends on what your accountant has prepared. Then they will now decide that you can have a minus tax or a plus tax. The minus means that they can also say that look, you're not entitled to pay because you incurred losses. You are supposed to pay because you've already earned money. But that is depending on all the withholding taxes they've withdrawn. They will check it and then balance it out.
Okay. Now I was just saying that for us, it's 30% of your profit or 2% of your turnover, whichever is greater.
Okay, here is 5% of your turnover or 30% of your profit.
Yeah, it's the same. It's everywhere.
Yes.
Your account, they can say, no, this amount of turnover that you've made, we're taking 5%. So whichever is greater, I'm sure it's there. We are all colonial. These are different responsibilities. This is your responsibility here, and that's ours. So the rate is there. This is the rate that we have now agreed. So you are to pay this amount. Now we need to now agree on the modalities. But when we draw you a check now, as at now, we are going to draw you a check for this amount. But we will pay and give you a certificate. I've authorized my staff. Every time we pay now, we must pay plus the 5% must pay from here. So we're going to now pay what is 50 naira?
900.
50 naira. Yeah.
So it's 105.
So we are going to pay, no, we are going to now draw a check for 50 naira on is it FRIS?
Yes.
Yes. As withholding. That's our responsibility. This we should collect it. We are the ones to collect it and hand it over to you. If we put it in the name of Lexel, we expect the receipt from them that we paid withholding tax and then give it to you. Keep a copy and give it to you. That you pay VAT also, you pay the same amount to FRIS and give us a receipt. So we all end up paying our responsibilities, and you know.
What you have explained is very correct.
Yes.
Very right.
Yeah.
But it is not normal because we also do some work for some of these companies that do these deductions directly. They normally give us these withholding tax certificates as they take them, and also pay us the VAT, which we eventually go to pay. The responsibility is on us to clear with the FRIS so they won't come knocking on our doors. So it's not your problem. Your problem is just that you paid us because we are supposed to be VAT agents. What you require from us is evidence that we are actually VATable agents because we've got the certificates and TIN number showing that we are entitled to receive it on behalf of FRS. Then we'll now go with our taxman to clear it with them.
Whenever you are doing payments, you take 1%, that's withholding tax, WHT, of the value of money that they're supposed to pay me. And then, like you said, the tax, my auditor will now do my account balancing and all that. And then whatever comes up with is what I'll put to FRS.
I'm going to start with 1,050. 50 is paid to FIRS and then we pay 1,000.
Yes.
But you are now responsible to pay your VAT.
That's correct, sir.
But you will need VAT certificates.
But he's telling me, I'm not conversant with this. He's telling me that I don't need it.
Yes, you
So our taxman will clear this for us. I just don't want that after 1 year, the taxman comes and says, why didn't you, no, they didn't pay it back.
No, you are paid.
are
So all you just need as evidence that this is something.
Hypothetically speaking,
Go and check in the tax office.
it's like we invoice you
With your tax certificate.
to deliver this phone. So VAT is added on. So the phone is 100 naira, and then 5% of that is 5 naira. We're going to invoice you 105 naira. When you pay us 105 naira, we pay 5 naira to the tax man.
No, when he pays
You
us
bring
100 naira.
You will bring anything back to him. Back to him to say we paid that VAT.
Wait, if he pays you VAT, you should give him receipt because
Your invoice.
Yeah, your
invoice.
Your invoice.
yeah,
Your invoice.
I'm entitled to issue him a receipt. Now, when he's doing his account, there's what we call VAT in VAT out. If I have paid VAT more than I have received, there's government will do balance it, you transfer it forward. In other words, there are services also people are paying back to him. You understand? All of these are remitted. Then he will now go there, carry what he has paid and what he has received to check if he has paid more than he had received. When he has paid more than what he has received, he takes it forward. That you have excess, you have excess VAT with government. So you have credit for next year. I have a lot of credit currently. You understand? So come straight.
The antidote.
is on the procedure at payment stage.
Yes.
What is going to happen to be addressed by our tax and accountant? How it is reconciled? You know, we need to agree on how we are going to administer it from now.
Okay. So let me now that will address it quickly is just to start invoicing you.
Yes.
If we invoice you, we put the cost of the job we've done plus 5% VAT. Simple. That's your invoice. That invoice becomes your receipt and backup to show that we actually requested for and received 5% VAT from you.
Send us that invoice for what? 1,000 naira.
1,050
Then
naira.
VAT.
50 naira.
Okay?
Yes.
So we are supposed to pay you
1,000 naira.
1,000.
Yes.
When we draw a check.
What? this is the way it's going to work. 1,500, 1,050 is the gross payment. Withholding tax deduction, 5%, 50 naira. Is already out. Your VAT.
No.
Let me finish.
No.
Let me finish first now. You see, I'm deducting withholding tax of 15 naira. It's stated there. Then your VAT, you are paying.
Akin, let's not reinvent the wheel. Put a
The
VAT
VAT
there.
you put is clear.
You don't put withholding tax.
already.
This
You use what?
The gross, which is what
No, let him talk. Huh?
less withholding tax, which is 5%. Now is what you are paying on our behalf.
No, go on now. Let's go on.
Now you now come, add VAT, 15 naira. By the time you translate it, it gives you the 1,000 and the check will come in
Okay, so we draw a check now
of 1,000 naira to the contract. The 15 naira there, the less withholding tax, you are paying that on our behalf, which is the one we will demand receipt from you. Now, if the tax office comes and said yes, this is your payment advice, which is very, very critical that you attach to the invoice, shows that you paid me 15 naira. The VAT office will not disturb you anymore because I have a TIN number on my invoice. They now come to me to say, have you been paying your VAT? You've collected so amount from XY, that's from TAF now, of so amount. Have you paid up to date? That's the office coming to you now. Come and take that back from you. That's the way it's done.
So what net? What do you get net? Is that agreed? No, hold on, no. I'm asking you.
So at the point you're issuing the check.
No, we issue a check. We agree that you are going to pay your
Every
15 naira.
contractor is supposed to pay that 15 naira.
No, let's just take a sample. Whether every or three or fine. We've gone through this. We invoice you 1,000 plus. Let's focus here, please. Naira from the work. You've invoiced me. I did not take withholding tax from that amount. And then you've invoiced me 50 naira
For VAT.
So you're getting now 1,000 as a check. Okay? But from this 1,000, you're going to pay your VAT.
Yes.
Okay? So you will net 950.
Yes.
Oh, please, this is democracy.
There's a hand.
And you're happy. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
So I've seen him. So you're happy with this way. Now, if you are indifferent, let me listen.
The job is 1,000 naira and we're getting paid 950. At the end of the day, we're running at a loss. So if this phone, it takes me 100 naira to produce this phone, and I'm being paid 5 naira less, I'm at a loss. What I'm meant to understand, for example, like in the UK, they have this VAT that is added on, and then this is transferred to the consumer. In some cases, like I know with nicotine, and I think alcoholic beverages, it's particularly expensive in some countries because the VAT is higher. This is transferred to the consumer. At the end of the day, somehow, some way, if it's going to cost me 1,000 naira to deliver on a product, then I shouldn't be paid 950. That's my understanding.
Okay, tax. Out of your 1,000. That's what we're taking out.
Let me clarify.
On your point, that's what we're taking out. You are not VAT, you are collecting it, but you are paying a withholding tax. That's why you are getting 950. You have earned 1,000, but the taxman is asking us to collect only 5% instead of 30% of the profit. So they can hold it. So when you account with them, then they will reconcile with you.
It's possible.
It's a withholding tax. That's why you are getting 950 for now.
Because if 30% of your profit is less than 5%,
That's why you are getting 950.
at the end of your tax year, they can refund you money.
And they do that for
withholding
them,
tax.
they don't
Don't talk about
You
VAT.
don't understand what I'm saying?
Business, so therefore you have to pay that 5% for now as withholding. They are holding it, and when you reconcile, you will do the accounting now. So this payment, we will have this operation ongoing because we are, which is almost new. So we better do what is right. I have a bill now, for example. Malik, who is a Jodex Global Ventures, of 7.46 million for 20% as a deal. So now in here, he has to give us an invoice for this amount plus the VAT. So it's we now in an invoice 7 point whatever plus this amount. So now we'll draw a check. So plus VAT plus 250, which is 5250. Pay from you for withholding.
That's what I say. So the check you will go.
But no, the invoice, no. The invoice should be like this.
Your invoice will come 5 to 50.
5
We get
Yes.
5 million.
Yes, but I draw you a check now for 5
For
million.
5 million.
And then take this amount and pay it to the tax man.
For stolen tax.
That's what I want. Because I want to agree.
That's it.
So that's a consensus.
That's how it's done.
Okay. So I want you to now, I will give you this. You want me to give you a copy, each of you. So you send us an invoice ASAP.
You are paying and give us a payment advice. Like I usually acknowledge my checks to the office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Advice, the payment advice capture in this format.
So shall I leave it with you or shall I distribute it now?
Yeah, because we need the figure. I distribute it so that we'll quickly activate it. You see, this is the fastest return.
No, actually. So that he will stay actually, he will not go around side now. Stay here and get it done. Bring your computer and everything and work with it. This is top priority.
Whatever financial value is there,
You're going to add your invoice, you're going to add 5%. But you are getting this,
Okay.
But then we are going to pay and give you a receipt. And then you will not send out your VAT.
But let's go for signing.
The tax meeting for next week Tuesday. Here, I'll leave that with you. What do you have on that?
Beautiful.
That has to do with their finishes, most especially our power.
But the pension, I think they should.
The uniformity, our concrete pressure, they all have the same uniformity in look. Okay? Like when I called you this morning, he noticed one of the was not coming out as much close that of your name. So look at it, you know, the make correction. And then on the general quality, needs to like be delivered in uniformity. That's just what we are doing. That's what please, can you call that on Monday? So he's going to come round each of your lots and give you safety briefings. And then like adhere to safety measures and then talk to our workers.
On the quality control, quality assurance? None? Okay, LB, Alex.
Sir.
Anything else?
The work is progressing. Everything is going well.
Hi, Charles. Malik? None. Nothing? Contact?
No problem. I want to say something after a few hours.
After a few hours. Guys, I've been printing these t-shirts. I stopped it. I want to print. What do we put at the back? Alex, what do you put for you? Or let the others come. What shall you know they put for mine? It wasn't my decision to put.
That one,
Yeah.
we will put them for.
Yeah, so we're going to put something for each of us.
Okay.
For you, like the ladies at the bottom there, they've got there. Yes, yeah. Some I know easily, but others. It's a fight here. No, what's it how that?
Pastor.
So they want to see me now. Come and see now. Okay, come me now.
Our laying pipes.
You're pumping. If it was for that, yeah. Good thing is that if me and you, I said no. Ladies, can you pray? Oh no, they look at me straight in the eye. No, last prayer agenda. No. Remember these guys, that when you were going up, they were supported. Okay? And telephone number. Okay? Name, website, or email address, either or. Either email address or website. And sorry?
Name, phone number, and email address.
Yes. Okay? And send a mail to all the contractors, those that are not here. Contractors do we have? Huh? Let's send it also and organize it. Now,
Logo, sir.
sorry? No. It was too much. I don't want it to be too busy. Let's just put the facts there. All they want to see is to have your name. If they want to contact you, they can either go on your website, they'll see your logo, or let's get your phone number. It's just a point of contact. Another of things we learn, when you do these things, you can easily pick up the information. Alright? And then suppliers. I think you have suppliers under contractors. Yes, structural steel. So then we have reed steel, huh? Then block molders, huh? For the suppliers, the block molders we have it there. Let's just put blocks. And then list their names. Okay? Where do we put ready? On the supplier or the contractor?
The blocks is make it. That's why the figure of contractor was
so where do we fit? Who are we local suppliers? These contractors, there's nothing from them. And there's a big wahala about that. So, is there anybody else you think we're missing? You're happy? Yakalon. I'll give you the name, the structural steel. I'll give you the name and their contact. Block on that. By Friday. Today is Tuesday. So I can sit down with him. You can work on a draft. We will circulate it to have your inputs. We will go out for printing. But I want it ready, hung by the 8th from some steel. Anchor this was a big banner. Do you know how wide they can print? Tell us how to want it hung. So in case you want some steel in there to tie to whatever, so it does not blow out. So we can put it in place. And when you come, you can see it. You can always chase tie it up. Other than you just put it up and fill it. Is it T1, T01, on that wall there, we just want to hang the side mark. Yeah, so when they come in, you can see the side mark there. And I think that's a good one. When you come in, you just see this there. Anything else on this? What we start?
Another one. Please don't get a kind of an overview of what the side looks like now. And click on this other one. Just get an overview of this present site.
We have a perspective. To do something, print a perspective and put it on one of those. So why show them an impression? What do you think?
Not everybody will walk in length and breadth.
So the perspective. As it is now.
Cardboard.
Where will you take it from?
Top.
Where?
The most.
It will not represent the. I mean, I don't think you got the right person. We have a person. At times I go and look at it and it tells me what it should do. You see the detail. Maybe on one of these, like the B04 or so, you just print one and hang it there. But then you have to step in there and then you have a look at it. I think it might help.
And the fact that the people that are intending to spread just want to, okay, let me check this. And they narrow their mind towards just making their decision, this is one I want. But if they can go around and see what is available, they can take some decision.
Yeah, but my point will not be a true representation of the site. There's an angle you can cover. You are limited to an angle.
The best picture could come from that site, that's the last block there, although it's not painted yet now. You can either take a picture from there.
From where?
From the last apartment.
From the last apartment, the other way around. Or view.
No, the perspective I think will do a good job.
Exactly.
Yeah, the perspective will give you a finished product. But now anything you want to see, somebody can go up there and see. And you can roll your eyes and see everything. And the works, the apartment blocks, VO1 target planning on the apartment blocks. Then B, townhouses, villas. A2C, KOB. Any comments, any additions, questions on the agenda? On matters arising, I'll get PM to go through it.
Matters arising from minutes of last meeting and issues from the contractors. Response. Contractors will be paid all outstanding within the week. Then we have works, townhouses and villas targets, the roof slab, the facial parapet, external rendering are targets to be completed before the 31st of December. For the townhouses are 20. Then apartment blocks, we have 17th November, which was on Sunday, expected that third floor slab casket and then third floor block works, which is start today. And then we have the roof slab and then the parapet works, and then the rendering all to be completed on 30th and 7th November and December respectively. Then other apartment blocks. Proper contract will be administered to contractors on an agreed milestone works and payment schedule. The below is the breakdown of works and payment schedule for the remaining 11 number apartment blocks: BO2, BO3, B30, 14, 15, 16, 17, 30, 31, 33, and 32. We have at ground floor, there's a 20% advance payment. First floor slab, when completed, we have an engrossed second floor, third floor, fourth floor, and fifth floor, all in 16% milestone. Then 2 weeks is the maximum completion timeline for each milestone, effective 18th November of 2003. Then we have tax. A health check on tax matters was conducted by the tax consultants for the project. That's the NADO weapon. One, that they will interface between the client, that's the Rivtaf, and the contractor related matters. And then two, to assist in minimizing cost of heavy tax. We generally inspect all and put in guides on how tax matters should be carried out. I think those were their aims amongst others. Then with all this in mind, the conclusion was reached that proper documentation needs to be done, proper reconciliation on VAT and withholding tax needs to be done, and And the reconciliation between Rivtaf subcontractors to meet with them. A separate meeting was scheduled for yesterday, which by 5 p.m. at GRA office.
Read on preliminaries for the apartment, which you said you were going to prorate. And that was it.
Williams apartment? In the apartment were kept at except for him, were paid 70 for 1 lot.
Can we have it tabulated so we know? Amount allocated. What amount was it? The structure only?
The entire project.
The entire building?
The entire building, actually.
Including finishes? We need to what was the right word? Prorate the proportions. So the apartment will only be the structure. But that's what I have that here now. I have all the payments here already. Before we put the signature.
When you say the structure, you mean the carcass?
Yeah.
Okay.
To render.
Done. Pouring of the floors, the block work, lintels, beams, and then the rendering, internal and external. Is that fair? Okay?
Mobilization on the parapet or the townhouses until government actually.
It's not in here.
No, we said that since the activities are going, you asked me, most of you asked me one on one. So since the activities you have started, some are even pouring, so what we'll do is we prepare 100%, except for the rendering, which will come later.
Yeah, parapet we've been paying, not so. We paid your parapet.
Yeah, well,
So, yeah, that's what I mean. But we agreed on a sum and we're paying.
yeah. We are paying that one.
So how do you pay? You pay them in advance or you pay in bulk?
Because some have already, like an Excel now.
Yeah.
It's almost done.
So you pay them
Paying
fully, yeah.
So we have prepared for all.
Okay. They're all in here.
Yeah. Except the rendering.
Except the rent. Okay. Fair enough.
The rendering, is it internal or external on this one?
Our target to now, if you are fast enough, let's say go ahead to the internal. Okay. Apartment block B01. How are we with that target?
Yeah.
We are now raising the block for
Yeah. Which is
on the third
floor, which is 19.
19. But Pastor finish his stuff today. He'll finish it today. So we are on target. Before I forget, can we please put a capillary roof for the apartment, the deep one, please?
Where you have the
Yeah.
slabs.
Yeah.
So
we
where
have-
the rain comes.
Yeah. So before I forget that, please. Okay? We need to have this capillary roof.
It doesn't require.
What, 25 millimeter?
Yeah.
Or you cut it
Either
half?
PVC pipe or whatever.
You cut it half. Use 25 mil conduit, but cut it to a semi, it's a sphere, semi-sphere. Okay, and oil it up, please, so it's easily taken out. Yeah, and it should be straight. That's the thing about putting a pipe. If you put a pipe, you should and put it straight. But that thing, if it's crooked, it's awful. It's small, but it's terrible.
It depends what depth we want it. If it's half inch, we understand, put it like, and then
I know, but the theory is like a snake. That's what we don't want. It has to be straight, please. So once you take it out, you don't go there and then start to render it. It can be terrible. Please. You guys are starting, huh? Yeah. The reason why it's nicer doing it with timber, you can plane it all up straight and it's easier to nail on. It's easier because you just go on and nail it straight. whether it's a pipe or wood, please, it should be straight. Okay, so it's fair face. Once you strike it, you don't start making it up again. And again, I would advise if you can use your plywood. So you do it properly, seal up all the joints. Once you strike it, you are not there. I see how much you struggle finishing up the parapets or the eaves. Alex, not so.
Yeah, that's what I didn't get your question.
You see, when I'm reading, you're busy. I've noticed that when you're doing the eaves or the fascia, you use the rough timber, strike it out, and then start rendering, finishing it up. The advantage of using, again, the plywood, as you saw, is that once you strike it, you put a lot of effort in doing it right. It's a fair face. But I think we should do a fair face on these overhang. So once you have this, so you have the plywood already. The least you want is a fair face in here. Make sure it's level, and you put the capillary groove there. So once you strike, and oil it please. Once you strike, it looks neat. It's over. Okay?
How much was
What? 10 normally? The architect? Yeah, 10 cm. 100 mm, yes. 100 mm is fine.
Yeah, 100
4 inch.
4 inch, yes.
4 inch is okay, no? But the overhang is what? 500.
500. I think 600 is adequate for full cover.
Okay. Okay, so 600. Okay. All right, that's on the apartments. Anything else on BO1? I think so far so good. I mean, again, as a compliment, it's going quite well. The finish is quite right. The internal rendering and the POP. We've also tested the plumbing. So far so good. Electrics, so far good. The mold for the breeze blocks. Nothing has been done?
Sure.
Yeah, we're working on something, but they said the soil. Just said the soil. I'll get to
Please.
and then I'll get back to you.
Please, let's get it done because I was paid by the 14th.
Okay.
You can give a coat of paint. This building here can be with a coat of paint so it stands out.
There's something I'll get back to you.
So please, let's move on it. I think that's one thing that's holding on. We haven't got anything on that. On the brick blocks. What else would we need there? Is that it? On BO1? Just the sample house for the windows and the doors and the grills. That's all paid for.
on the side of that staircase?
Plywood. We use plywood and just screw it on the tack screw. And then paint it.
So I think we have to look at it critically again around particularly the landing area. No, not even water.
There's no water not coming there. But landing?
Yeah, that landing area. I kept looking at the end. If you're climbing, as you're approaching, going up the staircase, you understand the landing above. The landing above. Yeah, before you come. You understand?
The steel is exposed.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so basically what we need is to cover that steel exposed.
Yeah, I think we need to look
And
at
the
it.
steel should only be exposed on the handrail. The handrails will be exposed.
Yeah, the handrails are fine.
Yeah.
They are fine.
Yeah, but now what we need to do, and I think we should just look at probably plywood, you know, and just use screws and screw them up, and then paint it. So you don't see the other side. By the time it will look like POP.
Yeah, sure, but when it's possible.
We look at the material, we put material on it, but I thought plywood would be okay. But we'll look at it. Anything else on BO01? So cleaning up, please, tidying up. Let's tidy up as much as possible. Safety again, please. Today Alex was there and without a safety helmet. Let's please be aware of our safety. I'll confess, I hit my head on the scaffolding the last time. Yeah. There's a mark. Can you see it?
The light
I got myself here. Sorry. I wasn't wearing my helmet. So it started with me. So we should please, huh? We should be aware of safety. Okay, that's what B01. I think we are on target, as I said. We're looking at the 14th. So by the 8th, I would have loved to see it furnished and clean. The curtains arrived today. The ladies brought the bath down there. So we got the curtains all done. So by a week before we have the opening, we should have furnished and tested and make sure everything is running.
And tested.
Yeah. Tested meaning appliances, no human testing. So air conditioners, the grills, the kitchen. There's somebody coming from the US with some of these miniature stuff. Bring it for me. So we'll have it. Something that if the governor comes, we'll want to
launch
sleep
it.
there.
You can launch it.
Not launch, but we want to sleep there. Yes. Oh no, there's going to be a one main overhead tank for the whole estate.
Like the one you live in Ghana.
Yeah, we're going to have it here. Everybody. Yeah. We're not going to have any of those overhead tanks on this. It will be illegal to have it. When I look at actually some buildings here, I'm very conscious of the finishes and the way people put their services. Like right in front of your house, you see all the pipes dropping. But for them, that doesn't matter to them. It's like typically in a hotel, like all these hotels you see, what matters is that for people to come and sleep and pay. So, and air conditioners, even like putting the pipe, you will go like this, the pipe. This place will be that we will not have central sewage. We will not have tanks anywhere, reserve tanks, and generators. We'll be in a place where if you come in here, you will not hear the noise of the generator.
So it's going to be powered by
backup. 6 megawatts. 4, 1.5. I think the grid will come to almost normal. Now that it's been privatized, you will see what's going to happen. It's money.
We're already experiencing it.
It's money. And these days power supplies, what they do, it's all prepaid meters.
No,
they prepay everybody. So there will be good cash flow for them.
It's even recharge card. I paid my bills yesterday with recharge card.
Yeah.
Normal NEPA.
So it will happen. Because with all this demand, the more you supply, the more you get.
Better for this?
Yeah, for all of us. Okay. So that's that for BO1. Anything else?
Are
you with us?
Yeah, I'm with you.
BO1?
Okay, you're still talking about BO1.
No, we're talking about B00. Please be cleaning up, tidying up. Okay. Now, planning of the other apartments. We've done allocation to everybody. Not so. Happy with the allocations? Any comments? Anybody unhappy?
The apartments.
Yeah. Everybody's allocated? Okay. So we don't have anything on the apartments. And our target again of the apartment is to get the ground floor all done. And then the slab. Now on the apartments, yesterday I went around with PM and this guy, Double. He seems to be over constructing or over designing on these apartments. Obviously then the price is skyrocketing. We're very worried about our cost. We are putting in things like a tie beam. We don't need to put a tie beam. The structure is already standing on steel. So we will not tell you where you should put your concrete. If you notice here, you'll see there's more or less like a beam at the floor level. And at the latest level, also we are putting almost a beam going down. We just need to put a lintel across. for the opening. And even the reinforcement, we will not tell you what we're putting there. So it brings down the cost. Because remember, it was multiplied by the number of blocks, 38 times. And it's a lot. Then secondly, the block wall, the concrete should be flush with the block. Where it is thin, use some fines and just pour the wet concrete to fill it up. But I noticed, you're going to come back again and change all that concrete. Is that okay? So we need to measure all this. Actually, I even thought yesterday that we should now use a different grade of concrete. But it should be like cement, it should be something cement mortar. The infill. So PM will work with you on this. Shall I take this one? What's happening to our peanut? Seriously. Since when you turn down to salt or sugar? Huh? It's on its way. Well done, thank you. You know one of the things I want to do? I was going to bring my scale today. I want to weigh that concrete on the head parts. Who's closest? Who's got a scale around closest to here? Huh? I'm going to scale at home. Anybody's got a scale. People will put. It's minimum 50 kg. Four floors from 8 to 5 or 8 to 6. It's a story of his own, though. I go amazed with the boys the way they do it. It's serious. It's not a laughing matter. You guys, when you go up barefooted, nothing, huh? You're not there carrying any weight. You will check the. I know my guys when they go up.
No, they have weights already, hard weight.
Yeah, but even going up that, you see the way he breathes. No, imagine these guys, what they're putting on their heads.
They're used to it, sir.
What used to it, my friend? They can't do this all their life.
There are a lot of
But my point, I think Nigeria.
That's why it's called Nigeria.
Yes. Some countries, my people, my African guys, my Gambian guys, will not even take an empty this thing of this thing. They will go once, twice, the next day you will not see them.
Can I produce a film and give every day I will produce one film so that you go and watch when you see them?
My memory is good. Anyway, so apartments and this concrete thing that we're putting in. Let's do a typical web or whatever. I-beam. We have an I-beam, H-beam, whatever like this. The block wall comes somewhere there. Okay? And then in there, obviously, yes, it comes like this at times. Let's assume also it's 230 there. Same thing the other way around. Please, let's get it as close as possible. Okay? Max 25 mm, 1 inch. Max. You don't need more. Otherwise, you're losing money. Max 1 inch. The same thing applies here. So then this member here. And then you put your board right across here. Whatever. Or it's like this. And then this is where you infill. So now this we need to measure. But that's what we pay you. Infill. So now my point is that we should now look at the concrete grade and make it weaker. It's not structural. Or get some fines, you know, from the what's it? Those the standards. Where you have an opening, PM will tell you what
Another suggestion.
yeah.
Is probably reduce the quantity that will compare the mix or using the You understand? Well, because the 3/8, it becomes, you say you can get it, but from what I know, it's not double active. When you want to supply a single active and you start cheating with that. So the cost.
If you can also get corridors, it's also fine.
The cost of overhead.
But it's just like sand and cement. Okay? Then he will also tell you the reinforcement we're putting in for all these. Huh? And then it's up to you to control rather than wasting money. The last time I saw some guy who was pouring concrete, the whole concrete was just running out and he was still putting the concrete there. So at the end of the day, you are the guys losing money. Floors are higher. So they are now breaking. You can hear him, huh? They're coming up for the other blocks. When we get there, this time we're not going to open up a hole as we did here. 6 containers. There are other 9 containers actually being shipped tomorrow, so that's 15. We'll work on the structures for that. But I don't want to start anything before we are quite advanced on the structures. On getting the structures right. For example, the villas that we are doing now, getting it to this stage, do the roof, render in and out. We have these guys to come on the fencing. I don't know how well they will perform. If they do, at least you can move and do part of it. So that's the major thing. Okay? I move it. So they don't need to start nothing to get an allocation.
No, okay, you see, it's easier when you say, okay, you have a
I can, you know, the townhouses and villas. The townhouses and villas is to have it all, as I said, parapet done and plastered on the inside. You can even move further and do the roof. First thing first, don't want the parapet done and plaster. Then we'll move on to the roof. Like now, there's quite a number of amendments on the windows. And some have just been door open and not done. I'm going to take it up on the roof there, so we just take a look at what's happening outside. So when I go up there, I mean, that's what happens. You look at things and you see where work is being done and what work is not being done. So please, I'm getting a lot of queries, a lot of issues from the owners of the apartments and townhouses. Sorry, the villas and townhouses. They have just neglected their work and working on the apartment. And they are the ones who are paying most of the money. So please, it's like when we go around, the parapets are all dressed up and the outside is rendered. Then you can move on getting the inside door. Please, huh? Come on. What else on the apartment and townhouses? On the villas and townhouses, sorry.
I don't know if this is a good question, actually. I think we really need to look at it, especially for the villas.
This is based on the old rates. Here, the rates that we're paying for rendering.
In the bill is 550. That has something.
How fix the render?
It was specified 13 mm. 13 mm.
1315.
Yeah. What's the norm?
The norm is 1,000, 1,000.
No, not the price. The test should be the same. So you should have some sort of a gauge. But do a steel gauge of 30 plus the block wall, 260, and run them through every opening. Use the engineers. Anywhere it doesn't fit, let them break it and keep it plastered. Otherwise, we're going to have a lot of problems when it comes to fixing those with doors. And we're putting a subframe, huh? We're going to subframe.
Yeah. To my that is material and labor, I'm losing 130,000 and 100. I mean, not that they are not cheaper woods.
Sorry?
Not that they are not cheaper woods that are good, but this iron wood we got, it's costing me an additional 100.
Do we have to use ironwood?
Say again?
Do we have to use ironwood? You can see what these guys are doing now. They're doing the floor slab. Because it's in first. We did the foundation. I'll show you some that we have done the raft foundation. And after the foundation, obviously we fill, compact it, and then we put the damp-proof membrane, so that water doesn't come underneath. And then we put the reinforcement and pour the slab. Let's do it now.
I'll be waiting.
There's a visitor's toilet there. And then this is the living room. Living and a dining room there. So this is a patio door. We're going to have all glazed patio doors facing the parking. You're going to have a parking here plus some plants in there. And then you have the stairs here. You go up the stairs, go to the next floor. And then you have a small TV room. You have 3 bedrooms there. At the back here, you have there'll be a store. Store or boys' toilet. So that's an option.
I'll be home.
Which one are you which is the forest here?
Oh, this one, yeah.
You think? We don't know your numbers. Huh?
See, never.
T49?
Samsung, no.
Different plots.
No.
You see? I know we furnish it with everything.
Yeah, it was me and you that picked it from Samsung.
Go now. Look. Go to the cabin, quarter cabin. You will see your plot, and then tell us which one. Yeah, big one.
No.
You see? I know we furnish it with everything.
Yeah, it was me and you that picked it from Samsung.
Go now. Look. Go to the cabin, quarter cabin. You will see your plot, and then tell us which one. Yeah, big one.